Hello, and welcome to another episode of How to Get an Engineering Co-op. You applied to 50 co-ops. Now what? Have you applied to dozens of co-ops and nothing of note has happened yet? It definitely feels like you've put in the time, but still no co-op. You are not alone. It's not because you aren't good enough. It's not because you aren't smart enough. And it's not because you don't have enough experience. In this podcast, we'll talk about 7 different reasons why you may not have got the interview and what you can do about it. Reason number 1, you might be using a generic resume. Employers can tell if you're using a generic resume. Remember back in episode 2 when we were talking about the student who completed over 100 applications and didn't hear anything back? He was using that generic resume. I was just in a meeting last week where they had a panel of 3 talent acquisition folks who deal specifically with early career engineers. And that was one comment that they made. When they have a huge stack of resumes to go through, they look for the generic looking ones and take those out. They might have 50 to 100 resumes that they have to sift through. They have to find ways to get rid of some. They can't interview everyone. And so that's one of the tactics that they use. What can you do about your generic resume? You can tailor it specifically to the job posting. Number 2, you might be applying too late. Now, the job posting is still up, but you still might be late to the game. I talked with a hiring manager from a semiconductor company. She told me that they specifically hire from those who apply early. They don't even consider those who came in towards the end of the application window. Now, I know it might be too late and you can't go back in time for the jobs that you've applied to, but what you can do, you can use your job search strategy, research companies, and constantly be on the lookout for new job postings. If this is a company that you want to work at specifically, you want to be an early applicant. So to combat this, be on the lookout for new postings and apply early. Reason number 3, you might not be following the instructions. By instructions, I mean there are many things that the job posting is asking for, whether it is explicit or implicit, and these are some of them. The file format of your resume. I have looked at hundreds of resumes, and I usually ask students to send it to me in PDF form. I always get some resumes that are in a different format. Your file name. Many students just call their resume. If you have 50 different resumes, that is not easy to keep track of. What I encourage all students to do is put your name, resume. Even having the date on there is very helpful, especially if you have many resumes for many different positions. Some postings may ask you to submit unofficial transcripts. Some may ask for a cover letter. If you don't submit those things, you might be disqualified right away. Sometimes when you apply, they ask for a resume, but they also have you fill out an application where you're basically filling out all the same information that's already on your resume. Do not skip that part. Always, always, always complete that part. That's something that you can use your base resume for rather than having to look it up every time. It is super easy to have it all on one document so you can just copy and paste. There might be requirements that you might be meeting, but you're not showing that on your resume. For example, GPA. This is a huge one. I've had numerous companies tell me that if your GPA is not listed on your resume, you are automatically disqualified. Here's the best way to tell. If a job application specifically states that you need a certain GPA, that is when you should put your GPA on your resume. So take a look at the requirements and make sure that you have shown that you meet them all through your resume. Number 4, weak experience. It's not that your experience is necessarily lacking, but you may not have portrayed it very well on your resume. So you want to go back and take a look at your experiences. I'd encourage you to have someone take a second look at your resume as well. This is sometimes one of the most difficult parts of the resume for student engineers. and it's describing your experience. We will have future episodes on this, but for now, know that the way that you communicate your experience on your resume matters. In addition to not communicating it well enough, you might be leaving out some important experience. For example, any volunteer experience, projects that you've worked on in school. You might be thinking, well, that was just a really short project. I don't think that it even matters. I'd challenge you to think again about that project. There are many aspects that likely transfer over into the job posting. Number 5, poor formatting. You might have really great experience. You might have met all of the requirements, but your formatting might not be good. If I have 10 resumes laid out in front of me, I have to decide which 3 are going to get interviews. One looks poorly formatted, where it's a page and a third, or it's only 3/4 of the way full, or the white space isn't balanced very well. Proper formatting can definitely help keep you in the game. Number 6, 5 reasons I've mentioned all have to do with your resume. Here are 2 more reasons that have to do with what you may not have done yet. Number 6, networking. Perhaps there are some really great opportunities within your network and you just don't know it. Consider talking with the people you know in all aspects of your life, if they know of anyone who hires engineers, and see if that can help. Number 7, you might be applying to the wrong jobs. Perhaps the jobs you're applying to are actually below your experience. Some students I know have applied for engineering tech positions. I do know a few who have received those kinds of jobs, but they might really be looking for an engineering tech rather than an engineering student. And tech jobs tend to be full-time and permanent, whereas co-ops tend to be temporary positions. Perhaps your experience does not truly align with the job posting. Maybe consider, is this the right job for me to apply to? You might be avoiding the jobs where you really do have aligned experience, but you might be too scared to apply for those jobs. Always be on the lookout and ensure that you're applying for the right jobs. So there we have it. 7 reasons, and I'll list them again, why you might not be hearing back from your applications. Number 1, generic resumes. Number 2, applying too late. Number 3, not following instructions. Number 4, weak experience. Number 5, poor formatting. Number 6, not networking enough. And number 7, you might be applying to the wrong jobs. Now, if any of these apply to you, that's okay. We're here to learn. It's a good thing because if you have recognized something that does apply to you, that means you can change it going forward. My challenge to you in this podcast is think about these 7 reasons why you might not have heard back from a company. And do some reflection on your past applications. If you have recorded the places you have applied to, that is awesome, by the way. Take a look back. If you haven't recorded them, that's okay. But think back and think, do any of these 7 reasons apply to me? If so, you're going to want to specifically focus on those reasons going forward to make better decisions. Thanks for listening. In the next episode, we are going to dive deeper into resumes. Until then, you've got this.